Gather round, friends new and old, and welcome to the Roasting Toast podcast. We are your hosts, David, Jenny, and Philip. Good evening. Hello, everybody. How have you been since our last meeting, our last joining, our last camp adventure? How have you guys been?
Been good, but I have
Been good.
I've been good as well, but I have to file a complaint with Instagram because I am not a fan of some of the new updates they have come out with.
I keep getting these updates, and they won't stop telling me about it. That's my big issue. Is that it's like, hey, new stickers, new stickers here. Do you want them?
The complaint
What's your gripe with them?
they've changed the way that the transitions happen when you scroll from photo to photo if you post multiple in one, and it's too smooth. Because if I just scroll the normal speed that I've been doing, I know it's a very specific thing. It just like zooms through 3 photos at once, and I'm like, what? I didn't finish looking at the second one. Why am I suddenly on photo 5? Like it's too good of an update for my finger strength. So.
They do a lot of those updates that just no one wanted, you know?
Mhm.
At one point there was this thing that if you scroll down onto a stack, so like if someone posts like 6 photos, you scroll down onto the stack, you'd be looking at the first photo and it would automatically swipe to the next photo after a few seconds to be like, here, let's show you more. I'm like, I'll fucking decide when I want to see the second photo. You do not get to decide for me, Mark Zuckerberg. Asshole.
It's been so long that I feel this gripe is already dated, but for me, it's the lack of ability to see actual people that I follow's feeds.
Thank
It's long been
you.
gone.
Right.
It's long been gone. I at some point I enjoy maybe a very small percentage of suggested content, but every other post is somebody else, and with no date lineage, no timeline. It's way to go, Jenny. This is a gripe that I think we all can
We can all get behind. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
David, how have you been since we last talked?
Been good. Yeah, been good. I don't know. I just got off work, so I'm very, very
You're
tired.
very punch drunk. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm plugging away. The weather's getting warmer, and I don't know what's new since last week. Nothing. It's all good.
I'll tell you, I saw a movie that did not slap. That's why I can bring it in here. It's called Boy Kills World, and let me tell you, it's giving a little more incest than I think it intended to.
What?
This film has a basis on familial love. A brother and sister is like the foundation of it. Like, this guy has a vision of his younger sister who dies. I'm not really spoiling anything. This happens 2 minutes into the film. It's sort of the basis of the entire film, and it all is driven through that. But I'm telling you, it gets a little Akko Taco by the end of the film. It goes too far into that love to where it no longer feels like, man, I miss and love and cherish my sister, as opposed to, I really miss my sister. It gets too passionate. There's too much passion in that love between the two that I think that it doesn't feel like they were aware of. But let me tell you, that director's cut, that was some ambition underneath. It felt underlying and it felt driven through. It didn't slap, and the action itself was good. If we isolate the action, it was very good. It was enjoyable, but that one aspect of it made it not slappable. That's my only thing about this day. However,
so something
David?
did happen.
Okay.
So we're recording this on May 7th.
Yes.
Well, for me, it's May 7th. For you guys, May 6th still.
Yes.
All right. A couple days ago was May the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Our local theater chain did a marathon of the Star Wars films.
And
It started at 10:30 a.m.
Oh,
with
boy.
Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Went through the originals. There was so after the first movie there was a lunch break. After the Return of the Jedi there was a dinner break. Then it went into the prequels. The prequels ended with Revenge of the Sith at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yegor, friend of the podcast, and I watched those 6 movies.
Woo.
It was intense, man. It was rough. Those like Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith were rough. I ate so much popcorn because I don't know how to be in the movies without popcorn. There was only one movie that I didn't go and buy more popcorn. There was only one movie. There was another movie where I got a small one. I've never bought a small popcorn in my life, but for that one, I was like so full of popcorn. I was like, okay, I'll get a small one. The craziest thing
well
is,
attended, David. Were you two the only ones that you would say that were there throughout the entirety of it?
No, everyone.
That's
it was an
insane.
event. You had to buy tickets for the whole event. So the whole theater was full of people who were like, we were sitting in the same seats for every movie. There was the same people around us. There was one guy. Oh man, there's that scene in Empire Strikes Back. This one guy, I don't know. I think he may have been autistic or something, but he kept like he kept like talking to himself. Like he did it like once per movie, so it wasn't like an issue, but it was a little annoying. And there's this bit in Empire where Luke crash lands on Dagobah. Sorry if you're not into Star Wars. He crash lands on Dagobah, and R2 gets out of the X-wing and falls off into the swamp. And Luke climbs out, and he's like, R2! And this guy just goes, he's in the water. And it's like, yeah, dude, we're all watching the same movie. We know where he is. Anyway, the craziest part about this is that the event continued after Yegor and I left. Yegor and I had absolutely no interest in watching.
They did the latest Disney ones?
They did the sequels as well. The event, the last movie, Rise of Skywalker, started at 9 a.m. the next day. It went all the way through 9 movies. They didn't even do Rogue One and Solo, but still, it was so much. The 6 movies that we did watch was so intense. I will never do it again. There's no other franchise that I would ever do this for. But this was the first time I'd ever seen any of those movies in the theater. Obviously, the originals, I wasn't alive back then. So it was special to see those in the theaters, see what that was like.
Yeah.
And the prequels as well, like Revenge of the Sith, I desperately wanted to see in the theaters, but I was living in Germany and it was only shown in German. And all my friends, who went back to the US for break, for the October break or whatever time of year it was, came back and were like, yeah, I saw it. And they spoiled everything. And I had to wait like an idiot until it was out on DVD. And then I watched it on DVD. So getting to see Revenge of the Sith, 8-year-old me was finally fulfilled seeing it in the theater. Yeah, so it was awesome. It also sucked, and I will never do it again.
But a lifetime achievement.
Yeah, like a lifetime. Yeah. 6 movies in one day in the theater it was intense.
Speaking of theaters, the person that I saw Boy Kills World with today joins us for our game in the next segment. So let's go there right now. So it is my game today, which means I get to bring a guest on, and we are bringing an old friend of the podcast back. I want to say our first guest, if that's right, David. David, I think you might know. I'm pretty sure our first guest. Julia,
Wednesdays for weddings?
Wednesdays for weddings, absolutely. Absolutely. Julia Jones comes back. Welcome, Julia.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me back.
Welcome back, Julia.
Hi, Julia. Good to see you again.
She is in person with me, recording side by side. So during the game, that might offer an advantage. But we'll get to that when we get to that. First of all, let's get to know Julia a little bit more as time has gone by since that first appearance.
Ugh.
Jenny wasn't even with us at that point in time. So
No.
David, no, she was not. David, do you have a question for Julia so we can get to know her a little bit better?
I do. Julia, how far is the farthest you would travel for a 3-day weekend?
Ooh.
I've left the country for Mexico. And Mexico kind of, it's not far. We're in Arizona, so it's easy to, get to. But honestly, if it's beyond 4.5 hours, maybe 6, I'm not going. I'm not going.
For a 3-day weekend, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, if you think about it, first day travel, last day travel, you only get one good day in between. Nah, take me up to the woods. We're 2 hours away from the forest. It's beautiful up there.
Arizona is pretty well versed in different spheres of ability that you can go to desert, you can go to the forest, you can go to some versions of the mountains, whatever. Anyways, okay, so that's good to know. Very good question, David. I will ask my question for you, Julia. So one element of Dune, the Dune series that I think everybody is aware of, and we actually saw this movie together. One element that I think everybody is aware of, especially now with the popcorn promotion, is the appeal to ride a worm from place to place. It looks cool, feels cool. They made it look cool. My question to you, outside of a worm, what would be your ideal animal to ride from place to place? You can choose a horse if you want, but if you don't have to.
Does it have to be real?
Let's go with real. Let's go with real.
Okay, so hippogriffs are out.
Yes.
Oh, it's a good choice though.
Like, am I riding into battle? Like, what
No,
is the scenario?
No, this is 9 to 5. You're going to Walmart for shopping.
Oh,
You're going to a party. You're pulling up. You're putting your animal in valet. You're saying, "Here, hold my cheetah. Hold my anteater in style as you walk into the party."
I need something that's like a statement piece. I recently got done watching this show on Hulu called The Great, which I love. And she has a pet bear, and I think it would be awesome maybe to ride in on a pet bear, because that's just sick, and everyone would be afraid of your bear.
Very appropriate for the podcast, as we are very bear friendly here. So thank you, Julia. Jenny, close us out here on Julia's questions, please.
Julia, my question for you is, in your opinion, what would the ultimate party theme be?
Oh, I'm a big party girl. I literally just threw a big fat fake wedding party in January with some people.
Oh, amazing.
Everyone just showed up, and we were different roles in the wedding party and threw a fake wedding. It was a good time. The speeches were crap as usual, but actually this guy sang Hakuna Matata, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, as the father of the groom?
The bride.
Father of the bride. My apologies. How could I forget? No, but I think my ideal, not wedding theme, LOL, but I am thinking about it for bachelorette party. I would love like a Mamma Mia, like ABBA
Oh, yes.
party. You give it grease. You could be dancing barefoot with your friends and drinking.
Bell bottoms.
Just not a care in the world. Truly like I'm 17, or 23, or 33, or any of the dancing.
I almost got to experience a Mamma Mia themed bachelorette party. Sadly, it didn't pull through, and we ended up just staying at home. But we were like, we're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna get decoration. Like, they were trying to do a whole thing, and it was like, never mind. We're doing Last Disco. I was like, come on. Oh well, maybe next time.
Well, thank you for giving us a glimpse into your psyche, Julia. Very much appreciated. I think we all know you a little bit better. Let's get to the game, as it is paired with a Would You episode from last week. I have a game that long ago I misunderstood which episode we were doing. So I had a game. So this is a game that has been long in the oven for me personally for a Would You episode. So I've created a game all about the premise of last week's episode, where we have two very important questions that also serve as the title to today's game. Would you, or would you? I am going to give you the 3 starring actors in a movie.
Oh boy.
Then a short summary of the film itself. It is the 3 of yours job to then tell me the name of the movie, knowing that all the movies listed today are either a straight up question or have something to do with the wood of a tree. Okay?
Oh, wow.
So all titles associated in this game are either a question or associated with the wood of a tree. Here, name is your buzzer. First name I hear will get first chance. If you miss, you are out unless everybody has guessed. Here we go. First one, name is your buzzer. Name is your buzzer. Wood or wood?
Buzzy bee.
The bee is a buzzer. All right. Top 3 starring actors: Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, Juliette Lewis. Here's the summary. David.
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
That is correct. The summary would have been a powerful drama about a young man's coming-of-age journey as he cares for his mentally disabled brother and navigates family challenges. Would or would you? Here we go. Very nice. On the board first, David. First to 4, I should mention, wins this game. I have a tiebreaker if needed. Here we go. Top 3 starring actors: Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and James Corden. Here's the summary. A musical fantasy
David.
film. David.
Cats. No,
That
wait, that's
is
not a question.
incorrect.
Julia?
Julia.
Prom?
Incorrect. Jenny, this is all for you.
Okay.
You can wait until the end of the summer if you wish.
I'm going to wait because I'm
Yes.
patient.
A musical fantasy film that intertwines classic fairy tales in a magical woods.
Oh, Jenny!
Where Jenny.
It's Into the Woods. Because
Yes,
it's the
it
woods!
is. Because it's the woods. Absolutely. So we have
Forgot
a
about
point.
the premise of the game.
Yeah,
Exactly.
literally.
Exactly. Jenny and David have a point apiece. Here we go. Top 3 starring actors: Kristen Connolly, Chris Hemsworth, and Anna Hutchinson. This is a horror comedy film about a group of friends who venture into a remote...
Julia.
Jenny!
Julia!
Cabin in the Woods.
It is Cabin in
Just
the
a
Woods.
second behind. It was right there. I'll get it next
It
time.
was so
My
close.
fellow horror girly, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So we have a point apiece for all 3 of you. Very good. I'm glad that you're getting into the spirit of the game. Here we go. Top 3 starring actors: Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, and Gary Sinise. A heartwarming drama about a simple-minded man who finds himself in extraordinary situation
Jenny.
and witnesses... Jenny.
Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump, indeed. Jenny leaps ahead with 2 points to 1. David is peeved, I think, about the premise of Forrest, including...
Yeah. Well, I'm not peed. I'm just like, oh, okay. All right, so
Yeah.
that counts.
That counts,
I
indeed.
guess.
It does. It doth. It doth.
Couldn't see the forest through the trees, I guess.
Yes, yes. Here we go. Next one. Top 3 starring actors: Ice Cube, Nia Long, and Alicia Allen. A comedy film...
Julia.
Julia!
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Ties the game between the 2 J girls, Jenny and Julia. David is 1 point behind. Next one. Top 3 starring actors: Samantha Mathis, Christian Slater, and Robin Williams. An animated eco-fantasy film that follows a young fairy as she tries to save her rainforest home from destruction by an evil polluting spirit.
Oh,
What?
David, it's Fern Gully.
I'm going to give that to you. Yes, there's a bit more to that title. It's called Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. But indeed, it is...
Okay.
It is... Fern Gully is the basis of it. There was a whole series and it's called Fern Gully. So I will give that to you.
If forest counts, then fern counts.
Well, yes.
Yep,
The
that's
whole
fair.
title is The Last Rainforest. Yes, absolutely. So that's why
Right,
it's
yeah.
Okay, so tied it to a piece. Very, very competitive. I love this. I was worried that this might be a dud. Glad it's not. Here we go. George Clooney, John Turturro, and Tim Blake Nelson. A comedic adventure film. Julia.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Oh, Julia pulls ahead to 3 points to the others 2. Indeed. An adventure film that follows 3 escaped convicts on a journey to find hidden treasure while encountering various eccentric characters along the way. Next one. Here we go. Top 3 starring starring actors. Ashton Kutcher. David.
Dude, where's my car?
Yes, he was.
Oh my
He was
God,
waiting.
David.
He knew. He was waiting
You're
for that one. That feels like he
there.
knew.
Then you go.
A comedy film about 2 friends who wake up after a wild night of partying to find their car missing and embark on a hilarious journey to find it. Here we go. We are nearing the end. Julia and David are 1 point away from securing victory, but Jenny is only 1 point behind both of them. So here we go. Top 3 actors: Barbara Streisand, Ryan O'Neal, and Madeline Kahn. A screwball comedy about mistaken identities, chaos, and love entanglements during a wacky journey involving stolen jewels. Barbara Streisand, Ryan O'Neal, Madeline Kahn. A screwball comedy about mistaken identities, chaos, and love entanglements during a wacky journey involving stolen jewels. Going once, going twice. It is the film called What's Up, Doc? The point is vacant.
Nope.
Yes, I don't...
Never
I,
seen
that
it.
was, after a while, the well does run dry, I must admit. So, with this last point available, Jenny can tie it all up if she gets the point. Otherwise, Julia or David will either be tied going to a tiebreaker or outright win. Very important last point. Here we go. Top 3 starring actors: Madonna, Griffin Dunne, Haviland Morris are the top 3 starring actors. The summary: a screwball comedy about an uptight lawyer's encounter with a wild and unpredictable woman on a whirlwind adventure in New York City. Madonna, Griffin Dunne, Haviland Morris. A screwball comedy about an uptight lawyer's encounter with a wild and unpredictable woman on a whirlwind adventure.
I think it's a blank faces all around, Phil.
Yes, it is indeed. That would be Who's That Girl is the movie. Didn't think that would happen. Okay,
who's
so
that
Jenny,
movie? I've never even heard of it.
never even heard of it either. Again, the well doth run dry. Jenny, since you are not eligible to win on this one, I will take your suggestion on a number 1 through 10, if you would please.
Oh, so I just have to say a random
that was
number?
the last question?
That was the last question, so we do go to a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Jenny, 1 through
right.
10, a number, please.
Number 5.
So she has chosen a movie called Are We There Yet? So David and Julia, it is your job to tell me, what was the box office gross for Are We There Yet? I believe David...
U.S. or international?
Let's go with just U.S. David, since you were the one who tied it up, I believe you get to go first.
I feel like this is a movie that was always going to make its money from DVD sales. It can't have been a big box office movie. I'm going to say 80 mil.
80 mil. Julia, it is up to you.
I don't know. Comedies are hard because some people show up for specific people. Like Ice Cube is kind of the draw. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's other people in that one, but it's I'm going to go 63. I don't know. I think it's less. I think it's less than 80.
I think it's less too. I'm now thinking
You're
80
being
is way
nice.
too high.
One of you is a mere 2 million away from the correct answer.
Wow.
And unfortunately, it is David.
No!
It is David because I am in direct competition with him. Unfortunately, 82,674,000. Blah, 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 blah. International, it was only 15 million. It was another time, another day. But Ice Cube was a draw at that point in time. Like you said, I think it double dipped, David. I think it got a lot of DVD play. But then, surprisingly, like you said, a box office thing. So, David, congratulations. You are the victor of today's game. And Julia, thank you for joining us for today's
You're
game.
welcome. It was a pleasure to disappoint you again.
Always, my friend. Always, always.
Oh, there it is. That slaps. This is the part of the show where we bring to you a piece of media, whether it be a song, a movie, TV series, or something else, a book, perhaps, that we think slaps, that we discovered recently or we rediscovered recently. And for me, this week, it is a song called Touch by St. Lucia. Good song. Jam. Check it out. That slaps.
Very good. That slaps. I endorse that. And that is on my current playlist. So endorse it. Very good. Very good. My That Slaps this week is one that I think Jenny will be listening to at the very least. It is called The Otter by a band that's been previously featured here on the That Slaps podcast. Camp with 2 A's, so C-A-A-M-P. The Otter.
Camp.
It is just Camp. It is a lovely, just like little wistful ditty. It's romantic. It's lovely. I very much enjoy it. Plus, it involves otters. Of course, it's going to slap. Like you were the chosen one. You were a favorite. You had the high ground. Any and all Star Wars references to continue to this episode. The Otter by Camp. That slaps, Anakin. That slaps.
So it looks like I am the different one this week with my That Slaps contribution. So I recently rediscovered a horror film called A Dark Song. It came out in 2016. And it's a film, I believe, that is from... I think it was filmed in Britain. I think it's a British film. And it tells a story about an occultist and a grieving mother who come together to perform a dangerous ritual to summon an angel. And it's a slow burn, warning for those who don't like slow burns, but I think it's a fascinating flick. I love everything they do in this movie. I love the way they explore they all reside in, you'll see when you watch the movie if you're interested, the way that the space that they're in, it's kind of a bottle film. It transforms around them. I love what they do when they explore their interpretation of Christianity and religion and Catholicism. It's fascinating. So if you want to check this out, highly recommend it. It's called A Dark Song. That slaps.
And as the wolf howls, so does the closing to this episode. We'd like to thank Julia for coming along and being a wonderful guest in the show. Thank you very much, Julia. But we have other people to thank.
Thank you to Casson Crossland and Jake Corlang for the music on the show.
Thanks to Ryan Ardell and Josh Hans for a lot of the audio bits you hear throughout the entirety of the show.
Thank you to Rudy Chalk for all of your wonderful graphic design work that you see on all of our social media.
And thank you to you, the listener. Yes, you listening right now, for tuning in. And make sure to go follow us across all of our social media hits, whether that's on Instagram. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, YouTube even. You can find us on Roast and Toast Podcast pretty much across the board. And really anywhere that you listen to all your favorite podcasts, except for Pandora. You know why? Because screw you, Pandora.
What's eating Gilbert Grape? A bear, apparently.